Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Wi-Fi is Out with your two hosts, Eros and my buddy, Double T.
Hello.
Today, we have some really cool Marvel theories that we're actually going to go over.
There will be a little bit of spoilers for Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. That is where we are at current releases.
All right, so spoiler warning ahead. If you have not seen the movie, or you have, and maybe you don't necessarily want spoilers about the topics we may cover, go tune into some of our other episodes, then come back to this one a little later. But for the first step, we have the Young Avengers that you want to talk about.
Yes, because there have been a lot of hero kids popping up lately.
I have been noticing that. We've got quite a few in a lot of the recent movies. Specifically, the only one that I know of the most would be Scar from the TV show.
Yes, She-Hulk. He just appears less than a minute, but still just as important. We have Hawkeye, Stature, Patriot, Speed, Wiccan, Miss Marvel, America Chavez, Ironheart, and Scar, as you mentioned.
Which the only ones I know of for the most part are America, Miss Marvel, and Scar are the three that I would know. An okay amount that I've seen, because those are the movies I've seen a lot of. And the shows and stuff.
Well, yeah, because mostly they've been just as side characters.
Which is interesting that they're teasing so many.
I think we are either going to get a Young Avengers TV show or movie.
I'm kind of hoping it's a TV show, because that's a lot of characters to try to fit in. And I don't necessarily see them right off the bat doing a whole bunch of separate Young Avengers movies to introduce them all, because we've had a few, we did have all of these revealed so far, but I feel like not enough to know who they are as a character, you know?
I'm hoping for a movie because we are missing the first leader, Iron Lad. Iron Lad brings up the Avenger protocol, that he finds all these characters, gets them together, they start doing good, especially since there's not really an Avenger team right now in movies.
Could they be having maybe Spider-Man starts it? Because he's younger in the movies.
I would say Spider-Man or White Vision could be the other potential leaders.
Oh, I forgot White Vision even still was alive, technically, because he just kind of flew off from WandaVision. We didn't really see anything
in
happen
the comics. It was Vision's armor that was Iron Lad's armor.
Oh, really? Okay, that I did not know.
So, since he got reborn and he's a robot, he's technically a kid again.
Technically a child. Honestly, that could make a lot more sense. Bring back White Vision, because he disappeared in WandaVision. We didn't really see an end to him or know where he was going, aside from he found out he's his true self, and that's about it.
But here's why Iron Lad could be better.
Okay.
He is Kang as a child.
Oh, really?
Yes. He discovered what he becomes in the future and tries to change that.
Ooh, okay. And, Kang is the next big bad guy, maybe?
Yes, he is. He's the new Thanos.
Oh, do we have this kind of confirmed?
Yes.
Ooh, so maybe...
Avengers movie is named after him.
Okay.
Kang Dynasty.
Ooh, okay, so I'm actually excited for this whole next phase then, because Kang, from the little I know, is technology-based and can time travel.
Yes.
And you also have, which, I don't know if we're going to get this, but I know it slightly from the cartoon, but the League of Kangs or whatever, what do they call it?
The Council of Kangs.
Kangs.
Which they just showed up in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Wait, how many of the Council?
All of them.
Oh, shoot. Okay. That is exciting. So if we have the Council of Kangs, which means we have a good chance of getting Iron Lad, depending on if he's still a child in the current multiverse is the thing, though. Unless they're going to bring him from a separate multiverse, but I don't really see that happening.
Oh, he's time travel. Kang can go to him in his past whenever he wants.
Okay, but no, but what I was getting at is like, wouldn't, because Kang would get the ability to time travel later on when he's older, not necessarily when he's a kid. So in order for him to actually be relevant in the current Marvel storyline, he would have to be a kid in the current multiverse present time. Correct. Or can he time travel as a kid? Because I don't see himself.
Oh, I see where I mistaken.
Yeah.
Older Kang goes back to past Kang
Okay.
to an event that led him hospitalized, and that's how he finds out about Kang.
Okay. Interesting.
So Iron Lad can pop up at any moment because of time travel.
Oh, so he just has time travel.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, hey, that'll work out. He could be the next leader now that we know that it is Kang, and that's a good chance. But other than that, I'm not 100% sure on this whole new group. It's going to be a lot of, teen angst coming up.
I mean, we saw from Stature or Stinger, Cassie Lang from Ant-Man, there's still a lot of problems that are in the MCU right now. That there is no more Avengers. They're still heroes, but there's no group to give the people hope.
Oh, you have a good point. And all the kids definitely would step up and try to take that role over. And it's not like they couldn't do it.
But that's also why we could see this next theory, starting with Secret Invasion, going down this rabbit hole.
I am so excited for Secret Invasion, man. I cannot wait to see how they're going to introduce all the Skrulls as heroes.
So, we have been confirmed that General Ross is becoming president.
Okay, refresh me on who General Ross was.
General Ross is the person who talked to the Avengers and was like, sign these papers or you become an enemy of the world.
Okay, and we saw him in which movie first?
The Hulk.
Okay.
Then...
Oh, way back when?
Way back when.
Dang.
Real quick, actor who played him died, so he got recasted.
Okay.
Harrison Ford.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
But then he showed up in Captain America Civil War, and then a little bit in Infinity War, and then a little bit in Black Widow. So he has been present just in the background.
Okay, not a super prominent upfront character. They're more so just kind of teasing him.
He's been the main voice for America in the MCU.
Okay, now my question is, since he's a character that obviously Marvel's been, kind of keeping in the background but still showing off, what is his purpose in the Marvel timeline? What does he do, become? What's his goal?
His goal seems to be he wants to control the power.
The power of what?
Just power. He tried to control the Avengers. In Black Panther, America tried to control Wakanda. They were even ready to go to war.
Okay.
It seems like America's purpose, which is what General Ross wants, is to have the most power.
I mean, that seems pretty usual in the real world, too, so.
I don't think it's been confirmed anywhere. I think he's vice president right now, which is why it's weird that in Secret Invasion, you can even see the current president in the trailer, who's not General Ross. So is he already a Skrull that gets found out?
So all this that we've talked about so far kind of leads me on two separate theories. depending on exactly how this is going to go. Now, I don't know all of the Marvel storyline, obviously, but if they're separating this into two separate problems, the Secret Invasion and then the Kang issue, I could definitely see the Young Avengers like becoming a group, becoming prominent, and dealing with one of those two, and then the main, older heroes who have a little bit more experience dealing with the other problem. For example, if they decide to go along the route of, the kids are trying to prove themselves, they're trying to prove that they're, they can stand up for the world and be the hope that the world needs, and then they find out about the Kang issue, their goal essentially just being, we need to stop Kang as soon as possible before he obtains his power type of thing.
Unfortunately, the only person who knows about Kang is the Ant-Man family. And at the end of Ant-Man, they did not seem to care about the coming issues that Kang was talking about.
Okay, so then does Ant-Man have like a predecessor that's going to take over his role eventually?
That is Stature /
that is
Stinger,
Stature.
whatever name they decide to go with.
Oh, okay. No, that puts it in a little bit better perspective for me. I mean, to be fair, it is a quote-unquote future problem, the same as like you had in the Avengers, where some of the Avengers were more attentive to the issues at hand with Thanos than others. That's why we had the whole Civil War. So maybe it's going to be kind of the same route where they do the Secret Invasion, which, separates all the heroes and then brings them closer together to kind of introduce the heroes in their own like special ways. And then they work up to the big ending being the fight against Kang.
Yeah.
Kind of like a redo.
Another thing to note before we go forward, we are missing Hulkling from the Young Avengers. He is Prince of the Skrulls and Prince of Captain Marvel's previous people. I forget their names at the moment.
So he's Prince of two separate people? How does that work?
Prince of one nation and the queen or the princess of another gets together, make a baby.
So then wouldn't he be the king technically? Oh, no, because he would be the baby, correct? So he would be the prince of both. Okay, now I get what you're talking about. So the Skrulls and then whatever Captain America is.
The space people.
Wow, okay. We'll go with that. We'll go with that for now, and we'll see if that works, because I'm not familiar with all of the different groups in Marvel. You want to stick with space people?
I'm really struggling to remember. It was just from one movie, Captain Marvel.
That's valid.
We'll may see them again in the Marvels.
So then he would be a pretty prominent figure, especially going into Secret Wars. But now my question is, with Secret Wars, it doesn't seem like the Skrulls are the bad guys.
Well,
in the current MCU, wouldn't Secret Wars have the Skrulls being the bad guys? Or are there separate factions?
Secret Wars is about multiverse battle, not Skrull invasion.
Oh, I'm thinking of two separate things then, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay, so multiverse battles where doppelgangers from the older multiverses are essentially taking over?
We'll get back to that.
Oh, okay, we're going to circle back to that. That's something else you got. Okay. So what do you got for now? What do you want to start with?
So continuing the Secret Invasion.
Okay.
The president gets found out, gets killed. General Ross becomes president in Captain America New World Order, which he's going to be conflicting to the new Captain America, Sam Wilson.
Okay. I'm following.
I don't think it's been confirmed, but it would be really nice if he gets to be Red Hulk.
I would like a Red Hulk, because there are a bunch of different Hulks. I mean, we finally got She-Hulk teased. Abomination, I mean, it's been around forever, but he isn't an OG, like Hulk. We just got Scar teased for like not even a minute or two. So if we get Red Hulk, I'm going to be excited to see if we get any of the others as well.
Which is why I also think he's working with Val.
I'm not familiar with that.
The purple-haired lady that has been showing up in different projects so far.
Okay.
It seems to be she is the Nick Fury in this case to making the Thunderbolts,
Ooh.
which is named after General Ross Thunderbolt.
Okay, I'm following.
In Wakanda, Val has said she would like to have all of the vibranium.
Okay, so what is she trying to do? The vibranium? You're not thinking of adamantium, I know that much.
Okay, I was very worried. I was saying the Wolverine metal.
No, Wolverine is adamantium. Captain
she
America
has
is
been
vibranium.
teased.
Wakanda's vibranium. She has been teased. Okay, so how does that normally play out? How does she get the Thunderbolts together? What did they do?
She has just hired them.
So she just hires them, and then their whole goal is to just get the vibranium?
She has hired White Widow to go after Hawkeye. She recruited, I forget his name, Agent, not Carter. There is another super soldier in the world from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I don't know who you're talking about. Sorry. I can't.
You need to watch these shows, man.
I will eventually catch up on these shows, but that's why you watch them, is because you retain the information a lot better than I do.
It's been like a year too for this.
Yeah. And you still can't remember the name?
He hasn't shown back up.
Okay.
She has Ghost from the Ant-Man and Wasp movie.
Still doesn't have Ghost Rider, so.
We'll talk about that.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Whoa, I'm not ready for this.
She has Winter Soldier.
Okay.
All these people are hireable people. As like, hey, I got you a job. Let's go.
And she's just trying to get the vibranium. That's it. Like, is there anything else she's trying to accomplish? Is there a reason for the vibranium?
It seems like she just wants America to have this power. Not Wakanda. Not New Asgard.
Interesting.
So this...
I mean, I don't have any theories on that, because to me that seems kind of like a pointless task. You have all of these people with super strong abilities that you can just hire, and all you want is vibranium. Like, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Because in order to, like, I feel like if you were gathering all the world's vibranium, then you would have a plan for, like, we're going to use it to do X thing so that no one else can ever use it or take it from us.
I think it's just greed. They just want it. They don't want Wakanda to have it.
I mean, I could understand more than just we want power, and then they just, like, have it stored in a vault and they never use it. Like,
I mean, I'm sure they'll use it. It's just not for the stuff that Wakanda is using it for.
I guess that makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how that's all going to play out if we're actually going to get Red Hulk, which I hope we do. Because if we get Red Hulk, then that leads to us getting potentially even more different Hulks, which would maybe be World War Hulk, even though I don't think it's going to happen now.
So, we talked about superhero groups. How would you like a magic superhero group?
I'd be excited, dude. Moon Knight's fucking dope.
Moon Knight, Blade, Black Knight, or
Doctor Strange. I mean, we have
Doctor Strange, Swamp Thing.
Doctor Strange is literally one of my top superheroes from the Avengers that I love the most.
Sorry, Swamp Thing is...
He's monsters.
He's DC.
Oh, he has DC. Yeah. What do we have for Marvel in replace of
There
Swamp Thing?
is
Thing and Swamp?
another Thing.
Isn't it just the Thing? No, I'm joking. That's Fantastic Four. I don't think there's another Thing. I think you're misremembering.
No, he's in the Halloween special, Werewolf by Night, which is another character, Elsa Bloodstone,
Okay.
who can come together and form the Midnight Suns.
See, that I'm excited for, because we did have the game release not too long ago of the Midnight Suns. And if they bring that into, or at least portions of those characters that we're kind of familiar with, into an actual movie, it's going to be insanely good.
It would also give Marvel the reason to bring Ghost Rider back.
I want Ghost Rider back so bad. I enjoyed the first movie. Second one, not so much. I don't remember if there was a third one, and if there was, I definitely didn't watch it. I would like a different personality.
I have no other theories about it. It's worth noting more magic characters are popping up.
So we're getting more Young Avengers, more magic characters, more characters for the Thunderbolts. We're getting a lot of groups all at once for this specific phase.
Think of it as the Avengers filled a spot in the world. They are gone, and now there's a power vacuum.
I mean, it makes sense, but that leads me to the question of, is Marvel going to be able to balance all of these at once? You know, are they going to be able to juggle all of these different teams at once and give us enough storyline where it's not just, 10 different like movies of the Midnight Suns in one go and they spread it out more? Or is it going to just fall apart? Because it's a lot of characters to introduce and keep up on for this phase.
As long as they keep the characters to their lanes and try not to overlap them too much. So as long as, in the potential that all these teams form, they keep Midnight Suns to London, Young Avengers are in like New York. If the Avengers come back, they go to space.
Okay.
Or something.
So now the question is that a question that I have is, Thanos was a world problem, like a worldwide problem. Well, technically a universe-wide problem, but it only really dealt with Earth because of the Avengers. And they were in, New York at the time or whatever, somewhere on the East Coast.
They started in New York, and then they went to Wakanda.
Okay. So, is Kang going to be a worldwide problem? And if so, are all of these separate groups going to be in the final movie? And they're going to have to balance a cast of like 30 plus people with these different groups dealing with the same problem? Or do you think they're going to keep it separate enough to where only one group is dealing with Kang and the others already kind of had their storyline finished off by then?
Kang is not a world problem. He's a multiverse problem.
Okay.
Especially with the rules that they have made for the MCU. Secret Wars is all about two multiverse fighting each other to save their multiverse.
Okay, so the winners of one doom the other.
Because when you go to another universe, you start to make it crack, basically.
Yeah.
Or collide.
Which is the whole issue that Doctor Strange had in Multiverse of Madness with Spider-Man. When he was trying to send all the villains back before that happened.
Then it led into his movie. So, I think not only are they going to have to juggle all these characters, they are going to have to make duplicates of these characters or rehire old Marvel actors so we get that Spider-Man Far From Home nostalgia.
Okay.
So you see Wolverine, Scott Summers, which is Cyclops, Jean Grey, the old Ghost Rider.
So, wait a minute. You just mentioned Cyclops. Do you really think they're going to give us not only Young Avengers, not only the Midnight Suns, not only the Thunderbolts, but also the X-Men now?
Absolutely.
No way. I refuse to believe we're getting 4 separate, and the X-Men is not just like oh, hey, this is a group of 10 people. The X-Men is every single mutant that exists, essentially. Because while the X-Men does refer to a specific group of mutants, you're now introducing every mutant.
Yes. So I think the X-Men are going to come from 838, which is the universe Doctor Strange visited, and that Scarlet Witch killed the Illuminati.
Oh, because that's when we first saw Professor Xavier. So that would make sense because they already exist in that multiverse.
Yes. And I can't imagine the groups that those people are in who just lost their leaders are kind of pissed at 616.
But they wouldn't know about the Illuminati. They would just know that their leaders are now dead due to some mysterious force. Would be my assumption.
Mortar survived. He could...
Oh, you're right.
He can spread the word that this universe did this. We are on a incursion path with this universe.
And that would kickstart the secret invasion, like the Secret Wars, right? Between
yes,
those
Secret
two specific,
Wars.
so that gives us motive for those two universes or multiverses to be fighting.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think of that, dude. And then that still doesn't loop in Kang though. How does Kang loop in with the Secret Wars? Or is he a separate thing altogether, for the most part?
As of right now, that is the only other universe that I know. It's the only one with a motive. I don't exactly know how these incursions happen. Can you force an incursion? It just seems the easiest way to get like
two universes
to fight.
And most likely, are they just going to like combine or something in order to introduce the X-Men into the current universe that we are familiar with? Maybe.
Yes, that is one way to stop an incursion, is for the two universes to combine in one. That's how sometimes you have two different Spider-Man, Peter Parker and Miles Morales, at the same time.
So maybe while, quote-unquote, the Young Avengers are fighting, during the Secret Wars, or whatever characters they choose to represent, are fighting the other universe, or the other multiverses, X-Men, and other famous, like, top groups, like Fantastic Four, Miss Marvel's, like, whole group or whatever, or Captain Marvel's whole group. The Midnight Suns are actually behind the scenes trying to find a way to combine the universes so that they're not eliminating the universe and they get to keep the people alive and intact.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Doctor Strange is one of the people who starts the group.
And at the end of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, spoiler if anyone hasn't seen it, but it's been out for a long period of time, he goes with another character that I'm not familiar with the name of.
Purple Lady.
The Purple Lady into the Dark Realm or whatever that equivalent is, in order to, possibly solve the incursion that he started.
Yes.
Ooh. Well, I think that's all we have for this episode, though. A lot to think about and a lot coming up.
Absolutely.
With that said, goodbye.
Bye.